say that Saturday night was an extremely underwhelming game of football would be an understatement. Not only did I go into this match expecting us to win and hoping that we would win, but I thought that we would do it with a bit of a statement. And, well, that's what I was hoping for, maybe anyway. I just thought we found some form against Geelong, and I know they were undermanned, but we played a good brand of football, and we played a Richmond brand of football. And I thought, if we bring this back, we're going to beat a few teams. And, you're coming up against Essendon, lost 4 in a row. We've got we've got the up on them, like 13 wins in a row against the Bombers. Like, they haven't beaten us in 13 consecutive games of football. Like, that's a lot. And we would have made it a record by winning 14, the longest winning streak in the competition at the moment. And it just would have been fantastic. And it was disappointing to see us play the game of football that we played. I thought it was sloppy. We turned it over way too much. We didn't hit the scoreboard. The connection inside 50 was non-existent, and it was frustrating. You look up the other end and Essendon would move forward and their forwards were leading and taking leading marks, and comes down our end and we're doing these ones again, pop it on my head. And it's like, I don't know, it frustrates me to watch because I don't think it works. And I know we don't have the same smalls that we used to. Maybe it worked once upon a time when you had the smalls that were there crumbing everything, and you could do this because if you got it to ground, they were all there hunting. But we don't have that same, I don't know if it's urge or the same drive to hunt the ball like that, like we used to. So I think we're going to change it up, and I just want to see our forwards lead at the ball. I know Jack had a hard time. He was manhandled all day, and being the main forward down there, it's a tough gig. Samson Ryan does his best, but I don't think he's quite there yet as a forward. He's doing pretty good in the ruck. I don't mind him as a ruckman. He's working on his craft, but as a forward, I don't think he's quite there. And then we don't really have any other larger options. I'm thinking I wouldn't mind seeing like a Josh Gibcus come into the side and play a forward role. We don't really need him up back at the moment. When you look at I think the back line's been doing great. It's been holding up well. And I still think like Miller and Tyler Young can come in and play a role down there if you need them to. But I really like Gibcus as a forward. He played his juniors as a forward, so he knows the craft. And we've seen him go up there and he played all right. I don't want to see Bolter go back there. I've said this numerous times. I don't want Bolter in the forward line. Leave him as a backman. He plays good football there. Enough said. So I'll go into some of the individual performances. Like there were some good ones. Like we had some moments in the game as well that really sparked us. Like Shea Bolton's little dribble kick along the boundary line, Dusty's big snap. Like there was things that happened, and Tim Taranto's goal as well was a big one. And you just think, oh, geez, like we're doing all right here. Like, okay, we might finally get a bit of breathing room between us and them. And then, they'd kick one and we never really broke away. And then 18 points, we think, all right, last quarter we're 18 points up. Surely this is enough to get the job done. And, in classic Richmond fashion, we blow an easy one. And I'll go to the Yukon award voting. Obviously, Zach Merritt won the award, but then Tim Taranto was in second place, Shea Bolton in third, and Daniel Rowley in fifth. So we had some good performances, good individual performances that caught the eye of the judges and, fans alike, because I thought all those guys had a great game. But I don't know, we just couldn't piece it together. Obviously there's some, I could go more into stats and all that sort of stuff, but I more just want to talk about what I saw and how I felt on the night watching it. Like, it was hard to watch. Like, I remember at halftime, my sister said, "Can we go?" And I said, "Well, we're obviously not going." But it was that boring. And at that point, I still thought we were going to win the game. Like the way it was looking, we looked in control, but not in control enough to break away from them, if that makes sense. But we did look like we had a handle on the game, and it was going to go in our favour. But obviously, I don't know. It's like we don't train these close game situations. I'm not sure what it is, but that's what it feels like, because every time we come into one, I just think we're going to blow it somehow. And sure enough, we did again. And I don't blame someone like a Ryan Mansell for missing that shot on goal. I mean, yes, it was a shank and you don't want to see that, but I thought he had a great game, and it didn't just come down to that moment. That was late and it would have made a big difference. But I don't blame him for the loss. I think it contributed, but it wasn't the main factor, because there's plenty of things you could look at. Jack Rewalt does a little kick forward off the ground, straight to an Essendon player. Off the top of my head, I can't remember who it was now, but you know what I mean? Like little turnovers like that we didn't need to do, and it may cost us. So anyway, that's pretty much all I've got for the Essendon review. I know it's short. Firstly, I will say it was an amazing round, and it is an amazing round to be a part of. We get to see it every year. Dreamtime at the G. The celebrations before the game were incredible. I think they're the best ones we've ever had, and hopefully they get better and better each year, because what we saw on the weekend I thought was spectacular. It was a shame the game ended up being the way it was, but the performances pre-game were outstanding, I thought, and I didn't get to see much of Kevin Sheedy, Michael Long, and all them singing at halftime. They were only a few rows next to me, but bit of a crowd, and I couldn't hear or see too much, so I'll have to go back and rewatch that because apparently that was really quite a beautiful thing as well. But that's pretty much all I've got for the Dreamtime game. It's disappointing. I'm a little bit rattled right now with all the Damien Hardwick news, so please forgive me for sort of rushing through this, but I just wanted to get it out to you guys. So thank you very much for watching. I'll be back very soon with the Port Adelaide preview video, which it's a big week, especially if the rumours are true and Dimmer does decide to hang him up. This could be his last game. He might not even coach it, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. But I'll be back to very soon with the Port Adelaide preview. And until then, go Tigers.